All right, good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, St. Charles Parish Housing Authority, Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. Time is now 6:30 p.m. and I call the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. This time we'll review and approve of the agenda. Is there any discussion or motions from the board?
Yeah, got it. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think it was brought to my attention that we didn't need to make an adjustment on not the agenda, I'm sorry. I do approve the agenda. I pass a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, Commissioner Bailey has moved to approve the agenda. We have a second. Ms. Diggs, please cast your votes. All right, and that passes with all members who are present. All right, next agenda item, review and approval of board meeting minutes from October 28th, 2025. Any board discussion? Commissioner Bailey.
So if I actually follow the agenda, this is the one I was talking about. We have an issue with the minutes of the last meeting. We have Ms. Diggs as being absent, but in the minutes, she is noted as making a motion, right? Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Was she present or absent?
Present.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're just amending the minutes to reflect that she was present?
Correct.
All right. Commissioner Bailey's moved to approve the minutes with the correction of Ms. Diggs being present for the meeting. And do we have a second on that? Ms. Diggs is seconded. All in favor, cast your votes. And that passes. All right. Next agenda item, review and approval of financial reporting, September 2025 financial report and October 2025 financial report is to be deferred to December 16th, 2025 meeting. Any board discussion? Go ahead, Mr. Jackson.
And good evening, Commissioners. Just to add some context to this agenda item, for the review and approval, we do have the September 2025 Section 8 and low rent financial reports. As a note, we are dealing with some scheduling issues with the end of the year work that 76 is doing for us to ensure the timely submission of our unaudited financial statements to HUD for the previous fiscal year, no later than December the 15th. And that work plus issues that we've been experiencing with our Happy software provider, as well as the loss of a staffer on the 76 strategy side, has slowed down our financial reporting creation. And we will venture to have October's Section 8 and low rent reporting for our December meeting, but we can't guarantee that as the meeting is on the 16th. That the schedule was made to avoid any scheduling issues with the Christmas holiday. We do have our November 2025 bank statements included for your review on page 87 in this packet, and we do anticipate being fully up to date with financial reporting through December come our January 26 meeting. I would also like to formally welcome our new finance director to the board, Mr. Arthur Allen. Mr. Allen has previously worked with our agency as our receivables accountant and is now on with us full time. Beginning in the month of January, he will begin providing the full financial report out, similar to what Mr. Rogers did a couple of meetings ago, based on the reports that we will be working with 76 Strategies to produce. So welcome, Arthur.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Welcome.
Is there any further board discussion or anything regarding the financials? All right. Arthur, did you have anything you wanted to add to financials this meeting? Okay. All right. If there's nothing further, do we have a motion to accept?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to pass a motion to accept the financial reporting into record.
All right, we have a motion made by Commissioner Bailey to accept the financial reporting into the record. That's been seconded by Ms. Jiggs. Please cast your vote. All right, and that passes. At this time, we'll open for public comment. Seeing no one in the council chambers, public comment is now closed. Mr. Jackson, Executive Director's report.
Good evening again, Commissioners. Thank you, as always, for your continued service to our community and to this housing authority. In your board packet tonight, we have the October 2025 low rent report, which can be found on page 105, and I'll go through that. That'd be page 105. For the month of October, we received $16,281.35 in rent. Currently, we have 54 of 59 available units that are leased up. The remaining 5 of those 4 are move-in ready, and 1 is finalizing repairs. We do plan, hopefully, to have all of these units leased up in January. We did have to do a purge of our waiting list, and that purge was completed, so now we can begin pulling people again from that waiting list. As it relates to our waiting list, I have 229 applicants on the oldest waiting list, and the newest waiting list has 75 applicants. Again, we didn't mail out any letters because we were finalizing the purge through the last month. There were 13 work orders that were started and completed in a timely manner, and we did not have any new admissions for the month of October. We have also included between pages 110 and 124 our unit repair status update, as well as our October 2025 work orders for your board packet for your review. Next section. The next report that we have is the October 2025 HCV report, and that can be found on page 125. I will go through that as well. It's on page 125. As of the end of the month of October, we had no port out searching for housing. We had 6 port outs leased up, paying, 1 from St. John, 2 from Kenner, 1 from Ouachita, and 2 from Texas. So we had 21 port-ins leased up, which we are billing for, 6 in Kenner, 3 with Hano, 1 with Thibodaux, 2 with Houston Housing, 2 with St. John Parish, 1 with the city of Fernandina, Florida, 1 with Natchitoches, and 5 with Jefferson Parish. Of those port-ins, we don't have any currently searching for housing. We had no EOPs at the end of last month. We did receive $304,762.63 in HAP income and made $276,107.66 in HAP payments. Currently, we have 3 new landlords that were added to the program last month, and we currently have 242 vouchers that are leased up with no participants searching. The October 2025 VMS report was submitted timely, but was not available for your review in this packet, and that will be included in the December 2025 board packet. We have 4 resolutions being considered by the board tonight. The first resolution is to ratify an emergency procurement action that was undertaken by the agency to address a potential health and safety issue with the steps, with some metal steps at the Boutique property. The second resolution is to update our financial signatory authority documentation with First National Bank to include Mr. Allen. The third resolution is to finalize the 2026 SCPHA board meeting calendar. And the fourth resolution is a resolution that authorizes the agency to submit the 2025 CMAP certification for our Housing Choice Voucher Program. Administratively, we have completed the first phase of our implementation of PHA Web. The new system is already giving our staff and our residents more functionality and information from the financial module that will strengthen our internal controls to improve property and voucher management tools. This system will be critical in the next steps that we take as an agency, and we have completed the programmatic, which would be the low rent, the voucher, and the work order maintenance portions of the training, as well as some of the initial financial phases. We are planning on making our first HAP payments through PHA Web, as we're working with their staff right now to make sure that all of the information and documentation is uploaded as necessary. But we have found just in the 2 weeks that we've been able to go through the system that it already is more functional than our previous system. So I wanted to make sure I updated you all on that. Lastly, we were notified on November the 21st that Mike Estes' firm has requested to the state legislative auditor's office to end his engagement with the housing authority, and we did receive that, and we were given instructions to proceed by the legislative auditor's office to procure a new auditor. We immediately issued an RFP for audit services, which will close on to December the 22nd. And if any audit firm that is on the legislative auditor's approval list wishes to submit a proposal, they can definitely do that. The information for that RFP is found on our website, as well as on our procurement portal in the housing agency marketplace. And that advertisement for that RFP will also run in the Herald Guide for the next 3 weeks. And with that, that concludes my executive director's report. I would also like to take this time to wish you and yours a very happy Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you, and I look forward to any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Do any board members have any questions? As it relates to Mike Estes and the new RFP and all of that, we're going to be voting on a resolution for that. That would be in the December meeting?
No, that would probably be in the January meeting, or if need be, we could potentially schedule a special meeting to do that prior to the January meeting. The FDS submission is happening the end of this month, between the end of this month and December the 15th. And once that's done, that would normally be when that information would be given from our fee accountant to the audit firm.
Okay.
So I guess in terms of when Mr. Estes would have begun his work, we're kind of in that same time frame. Mm-hmm. And the legislative auditor's office did indicate to us that because we, at his request, is ending the engagement and we're taking on a new auditor, we would be able to receive an extension for our submission to the state, which is that deadline is March 31st. We still would be good on time as it relates to the June 31st submission deadline for the audited financials to HUD. So
okay.
I guess the timing is not the situation is not ideal, but the timing is kind of right on schedule with what we would be doing anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? All right. Well, our next agenda item is our resolutions. At this time, we'll open for public comment for Resolution 2511-2501. Seeing no one in the chamber, public comment is now closed. Resolution 2511-2501 is adopting a resolution to award an emergency contract to a vendor for the repair of metal stairs at the Booty property. You do have a memorandum in your file. The purpose of the memorandum is to provide an overview of proposed resolution to approve and adopt a resolution for the ratification of an award of an emergency contract to Project 1 Development's P1 contractors for the repair of metal stairs at the Booty property. The authority and its Board of Commissioners from time to time, as dictated by its procurement policy, must let out a request for proposals or RFP for qualified and responsive vendors to complete the work on behalf of the authority. On September 2nd, 2025, St. Charles Parish Housing Authority advertised RFP 002-2025 for the replacement of metal steps at the Booty property. St. Charles Parish Housing Authority received no responses from vendors to perform the work when the solicitation closed on October 2nd, 2025. On October 13th, 2025, Charles Taylor, St. Charles Parish Housing Authority Inspections and Maintenance Repairman, advised that the current state of the steps are a health and safety concern which necessitates that they be replaced as an emergency to prevent any adverse health and safety effects to our residents. St. Charles Parish Housing Authority immediately initiated an emergency procurement process and solicited quotes from the area general contractors based on the scope of work as indicated in the RFP. Approval and adoption of this resolution by the Board of Commissioners is required for the ratification of an emergency action taken with the authority awarding a vendor the emergency work associated with the emergency solicitation. Staff recommends board approval and adoption of the proposed resolution as the staff received proposals as listed in the solicitation, and the proposals were as follows. Sure Catch, $301,922.40. Millennium Fabrication, $168,079.40. HBP Construction and Consulting, LLC, $116,000. P1 Contractors, $89,660. And A&G Remodeling, $156,000. All 5 vendors were considered qualified and responsive to the solicitation. P1 Contractors was the lowest responsible bidder based on their price proposal. And with the submission of proposals completed, staff recommended the selection of P1 Contractors as the vendor for this emergency procurement. An emergency justification notice is also attached to this resolution. The resolution requests that St. Charles Parish Housing Authority Board of Commissioners ratify the award, an emergency procurement action to the lowest responsive vendor who had provided us with quotes to replace the damaged steps. That being said, is there any board discussion or a motion to approve Resolution 2511-2501?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to pass a motion to approve Resolution 25-11-25-01.
All right, we have a motion made by Commissioner Bailey. Do we have a second? Ms. Diggs has seconded. Please cast your votes. All right, and that passes. Resolution 2511-2501, resolution of St. Charles Parish Housing Authority Board of Commissioners approving and adopting resolution to ratify the awarding of the emergency contract to vendor for the repair of the metal stairs at the Booty property. Let's see. All right, the next resolution before us this evening is Resolution 2511-2502. Adoption of a resolution providing for financial signatory authority to designated representatives of the St. Charles Parish Housing Authority. Let's see. Give me just a second here. All right. Resolution 2511-2502. Approval and adoption of resolution providing for financial signatory authority to designated representatives of the St. Charles Parish Housing Authority. The authority and its Board of Commissioners must designate specific representatives as authorized signatory for their bank accounts and lines of credit, including but not limited to executing any banking instrument required to facilitate business on behalf of the authority. This resolution would allow for an update to the signatory form with bank accounts held at First National Bank USA to reflect the current officers and staff to be considered authorized representatives to allow for the use and execution of financial instruments in accordance with agency financial policies, including but not limited to checks, credit cards, ACH deposits, and payments, etc. Approval and adoption of this resolution by the Board of Commissioners is required for the authority to effectuate and transact business in its day-to-day operations. Staff recommends board approval and adoption of the proposed resolution providing for financial signatory authority to designated representatives of the St. Charles Parish Housing Authority. Is there any board discussion regarding 2511-2502, or do we have a motion from the board for adoption? Ms. Diggs.
Mr. Chair, I approve resolution 2511-2502.
All right, thank you, Ms. Diggs. Ms. Diggs has moved to approve Resolution 2511-2502, and that's been seconded by Commissioner Bailey. Please cast your votes. All right, and that passes. That's Resolution 2511-2502, a resolution of St. Charles Parish Housing Authority Board of Commissioners approving and adopting resolution providing for financial signatory authority to designated representatives of the St. Charles Parish Housing Authority. And let's see here. The next one is 2511-2503. That's adopting a resolution to set the 2026 St. Charles Parish Housing Authority Board of Commissioners meeting calendar. The authority and its Board of Commissioners per Louisiana Revised Statute 4219 are required to annually create, approve, and post its meeting calendar for the purposes of properly noticing its regular public meeting calendar. Approval and adoption of this resolution by the Board of Commissioners is required for the authority to properly notice meetings for the 2025 calendar year, and staff recommends board approval and adoption of the proposed resolution to properly notice meetings for the 2026 calendar year. That's Resolution 2511-2503, adopting the calendar. Do we have any board discussion or a motion from the board? Commissioner Bailey.
Pass motion to approve Resolution 2511-25-03.
All right, Commissioner Bailey has moved to adopt Resolution 2511-2503, and that's been seconded by Ms. Diggs. Please cast your vote. Resolution 2511-2503 has been approved by the board. That's the resolution for the 2026 St. Charles Parish Housing Authority Board of Commissioners meeting calendar. And our next agenda item before us this evening is 2511-2504, adopting a resolution to submit the 2025 CMAP certification to HUD. You do have a memorandum again in your packet. The purpose of the memorandum is to provide an overview of the proposed resolution, approving and adopting submission of the 2025 Section 8 Management Assessment Program, CMAP, certification to U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Section 8 Management Assessment Program constitutes HUD's primary tool for measuring the performance of public housing authorities that administer the Housing Choice Voucher Program, HCV. The authority must certify compliance with federal regulations to ensure the proper administration of federal funds. The authority is governed by the Uniform Administrative Requirements, cost principles, and audit requirements for federal awards under 2 CFR Part 200, which mandates strict adherence to performance goals and financial management standards. Additionally, per HUD regulations, the authority is required to annually submit its CMAP certification to verify performance indicators. Approval and adoption of this resolution by the Board of Commissioners is required for the authority to submit the CMAP certification to HUD for the 2025 fiscal year. Staff recommends the approval and adoption of this proposed resolution to submit the 2025 CMAP certification to HUD. Do we have any board discussion or a motion from the board? Ms. Diggs.
Mr. Chair, I approve resolution 2511-2504.
Thank you, Ms. Diggs. Ms. Diggs has moved to approve Resolution 2511-2504, and that's seconded by Commissioner Bailey. Please cast your votes. All right, and that passes. That's Resolution 2511-2504, a resolution of the St. Charles Parish Housing Authority Board of Commissioners approving and adopting a resolution to submit the 2025 CMAP certifications to HUD. All right, are there any other matters before us this evening?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Commissioners. Again, just a few things. We want to thank We Care for their generous donation of over 30 turkeys to our SCPHA families at the Boutique property. Also wanted to make sure that the board was aware in advance that we will be having elections for officers of the board at the December 16th meeting because it is the 2-year period prescribed by our bylaws. And also, we will be closing our offices at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow and remain closed through Friday for the Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving holidays. As always, there will be a maintenance team member on call in the case that an emergency arises, but I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware of that closure that will happen tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jackson. Do we have any questions? All right, RAD Section 18 conversion update.
Yes, just a brief update. And thank you again, Commissioners. We did hold our resident meetings on November the 5th, and they were very well attended. Our application is currently being revised by Mr. Murray as well as Mr. Bordenave with our HUD consultancy group for resubmission for the concept call request with HUD. I should get an update on when that'll be submitted again tomorrow from Mr. Bordenave. Also, Standard, just for the board's awareness, Standard is currently in the process while we're able to consider what benefit the project-based rental assistance subsidy would provide in terms of rents versus the project-based voucher subsidy, which is what we have been currently requesting, and also we've been in the line with the thought process of pursuing what's called normally the PBRA or the PBV. Authorities that are undergoing a conversion process can make that decision up into when the CHAP is executed. So it's not anything that would affect our ability to proceed, but it's just something that Standard is reviewing and an opportunity to see if they would get an increased rents per unit over the project-based voucher subsidy. But I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware that they're considering that.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Oh, and I'm sorry, last thing,
Go
we
ahead.
will be scheduling a call with HUD soon to discuss the request that we have on the table to request the 120% rents that would be in line with the project-based voucher subsidy or the PBRA, depending on which subsidy we proceed with. So I just want to make sure that you all are aware, and the current commissioners that have been working with us on that will definitely be made aware of when that meeting will be scheduled.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? All right, at this time, we'll open again for public comments. Time is 6:57. Seeing no one in the chamber, public comments is now closed. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Ms. Diggs.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
All right, thank you, Ms. Diggs. Ms. Diggs has moved to adjourn. That's seconded by Commissioner Bailey. Please cast your vote. And that passes. The time is now 6:57, and we are adjourned. Thank y'all, everybody.